Look, so we're explaining how you can take negative equity. If you get a car that you end up getting with a big discount, you can bring the negative equity over. And this Ionic deal, when this person shared it with me that they got a couple days ago, they got a $49,000 vehicle for $325 a month using these systems, using what you're going to learn. But here's the thing. Let's say she had $7,000 of negative equity now. She could literally take that 7,000 into this 2-year lease. That her payment's only going to go up $291. There'll be some tax there, so let's just say it'll go up another $310, and we add that to our first 300. So her payment's 610. Normally, getting a $49,000 car, bringing 7,000 of negative equity over does not equal a $600 payment. That's a $1,100 payment. That's a $1,200 payment. But if you get the right car where you can get tons of money off, and right now leasing some of these electric cars, as long as you know how to get these $15,000, $20,000 discounts off of them and lease them, this is a brilliant way to get out of negative equity, because once these electric car rebates and these electric car discounts go away, the market's very soft on these cars. Once they go away, we're not going to be able to move negative equity over to these leases and make it make sense the way it's making sense now. But for now, huge opportunity. That's what I will be doing. Driving an electric car for 2 or 3 years, taking the huge discount that I'll get from shopping around, and then bringing my negative equity over. And then once the lease is done, you have no more negative equity. You do a fresh deal, and you never have negative equity again. Just make sure when you lease, you get the mileage you need. Alexis Owens, welcome to the group. I see you just follow. Andre Guest, thanks for sharing. Shout out to the sharers. And shout out to the people who tap the screen. Every time y'all tap the screen, watch the likes go up. So if you hear something that you like, you're enjoying it, just start double tapping the screen. Y'all will keep running the likes up. So keep typing your questions in. We're live. Dolan, can you bring some of these questions? I don't know if you had time yet to get some of these questions we got on TikTok. Jason Davis, good to see you. Moni Love. Yes, I actually told Moni Love. She asked, do I provide broker services? I don't do broker services. I do something, in my opinion, we do it better, because a broker still is going to shop, and you're never going to know what their best deal really is. Brokers make a lot of money. I'm in New Jersey, where there's a lot of brokers. There's a lot of brokers in New York, and brokers make a lot of money, and they basically do it based on trust. If I have your trust and I got the ability to control your entire car deal from start to finish, I have the ability to control where you buy your car from, returning your old lease, could be equity in that. I'm controlling all your money, and I'm controlling it based on a trust system. Then I have, and the thing that's better about being a broker, which is why really, who becomes brokers? Car salesmen who get tired of small commissions. Because car salesmen, when we're selling cars, we're getting probably on average 20% of the profit. And if the profit is $3,000, if the profit's $10,000 and we bring home $2,000, okay, that's cool. But brokers, all right, if the profit's $10,000, I could bring home $5,000. I'll split it, because the dealerships look at a broker as another dealer. So that's who usually becomes brokers. People who look and say, man, I'd rather make 2-3 times the money on each car because I'm my own dealership. So what we do is we work with people and show you how to get all your numbers yourself, show you how to get the market reports yourself. If you use what's in my digital book, Moni, you could become your own broker, because no one actually shops cars the way we do. We do market assessments. So when we're leasing a car, we reach out to 25 dealers online. We never have to talk to them, and we get 5 offers. At least 5, sometimes 7, sometimes 10. New cars, we reach out to 25 dealers online using email scripts that I wrote. They're already wrote. You don't have to think about them. They're already written out. And then we get 5 offers. And then for a used car, we shop the market. We assess the market from the low side to the high side. We narrow down used cars based on title record, service history, accident history. We verify there's no bogus fees that they're going to try to charge us. Who's done that? You go to the dealership thinking you're going to get one price, and then they hit you with these other fees. This is what you do to avoid these things. We have to have a process for this. And so you could do this and become your own broker, but I would never recommend a broker, because unless they're going to give you a spreadsheet. If they're going to give you a spreadsheet of all the work they did, all the dealers they shopped, all the entire market that they assess for you, then that's a broker that I would hire. And no one does that except us. We'll be launching that service very soon. Very soon. So people who like Deshone, man, I mean, if I could just pay y'all to run this whole and do your whole system for me, that's coming very, very soon. But for now, you may want to, shop with us. We have 3 ways that we can help you. 2 ways now. Do it yourself. That's get my book. That's the whole blueprint. If you're a do-it-yourself, Deshone, just give me the blueprint. As long as the blueprint's official, I'll get it done. That's my digital book. You can get it for 75% off in my bio, in my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, the comments. You get it for $24 if you get there before 30 minutes. And the done with you, that's when we're doing it together. You're looking at coaching videos and I'm walking you through it and I'm supporting you. That's also in my bio. So again, what's coming soon is the done for you. But that's our commitment, to be the best company in the world for the car buyer. So we're getting there slowly but surely. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Let's get to some more questions. Keep typing questions. What's up, Martin? See a lot of people checking in on TikTok. Chris, good to see you. Can you do this with Tesla? Great question. Right now, Tesla's very soft. They have a set price, though. They don't negotiate. So what they do is when you're buying a new Tesla or leasing it, you don't need to get bids, because getting bids is to avoid overpaying. Getting bids is to avoid buying a car from one place and another place over here would have sold it for $5,000 less. Tesla operates similar to like the Apple store. You going to get an iPhone in California, it's the same price for the iPhone in Florida, same price in New Jersey. So you don't need to shop around for an iPhone. It's a set price. That's Tesla. But any other car is different. Every other car, it's different prices. 3,000 more here, so that's the difference. But with a Tesla, you still need to divide if you're going to lease it, you need to understand whether you should buy or lease it. That's based on how long you're going to keep it. And this is proving the point. The point about depreciation that we've been preaching. I've been preaching depreciation so many years to people who say, well, I don't lease cars, Deshone. They limit you on mileage. That's not true. You can pick your mileage up to 30,000 miles a year for most cars. Deshone, I don't like to lease. I'm going to beat my car. They want you to have the car perfect. That's not true. They give you normal wear and tear. You can bring the car back with dings. You can bring the car back. They expect 3 years of wear. What they charge you for is excess wear, which is similar to negligence, abuse. If you have a baseball-sized dent, that's the stuff. But depreciation, Tesla is proving that people should not have been buying these cars because their cars are depreciating almost worse than any other car on the market. And they sold you based on, we have this brand, Tesla, and people went out and buy these cars. They didn't want to lease, didn't listen to the advice. Now they bought a $50,000 car that lost 20% of its value in a year. These cars that were 40,000, they can get them for 30. This is the dramatic depreciation. Now, had you leased these Teslas, had you leased them, it wouldn't matter to you. You drop it off after 3 years, you pay your low payment. See, leasing protects you against depreciation. Car values drop through the floor, no problem. I'm good. The buyers, that's a horrible situation. I would hate to be in a Tesla that I bought 2 years ago and see the values dropping the way they drop. Okay, but yeah, that's what we did. That's the only part of the system that we don't have to shop around for, Brian, which is where we're going to buy the Tesla from. But we still need to understand if a lease makes sense. Divide the monthly payment into the MSRP. If it's 1% or less, you got to steal. If it's between 1% and 1.5%, that's a good deal. The lower, the better. We don't lease vehicles over 1.5. A lot of people got bad lease deals. A lot of people driving around right now in bad lease deals. They put a ton of money down. Their payments are way too high. I'll give you an example. Look. I'll give you an example. Look at Raphael. $45,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee, $549 a month, no money down. $45,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee, no money down, $549 a month. That's great value. India. Look, she got a Hyundai Elantra, limited, with the leather and everything, $365 a month, no money down. That's a below market lease. A lot of people, their problem They got a couple things going wrong with them with leasing. One, they don't understand depreciation. Two, they're not choosing the correct mileage that they need for the lease. Three, they're overpaying for the leases because they're not getting multiple offers. And so when these people take, if that's you and you're like, oh man, I don't like leasing, I see why. You're doing it wrong. Follow our system, your leases will be great. You'll pay less than everyone. And that's what we do. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next question up. Keep typing your question. Greg the Barber, good to see you, man. I ain't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Greg the Barber, Taz, good to see you. What's going on, Simba girl? Good to see you. Leroy Rogers, stay posted. We got you. I have a 2022 Lexus paid for. Want a new Porsche 2024 or 2025 to buy versus lease. If you're gonna, are you keeping the Lexus? I would listen now. If you bought that Lexus and you're looking to replace it, you're gonna lose a ton of money. And if you pay cash, which is you either paid cash or you paid it off very quickly, what you're gonna see is when you go to replace, first thing you would do is decide, are you keeping this next bill? I'm gonna give you your first two steps, Leroy. First two steps, they're easy. How many years are you gonna keep the next vehicle? Is it less than 8? Then we should be shopping for a below market lease on the Porsche. That's very simple. Are we going to keep the Porsche more than 8 years? Then we can buy it, because we're going to avoid all depreciation with a long-term buy. If I got a Porsche outside and I kept it for 8, 9, 10 years, at least 8, then that's okay. Even if I overpaid for it, which I don't want you to overpay. If you really listen to me, then not only will you win with depreciation, but you'll pay less money for a Porsche than anyone else. I helped somebody get a Porsche Macan. He got 10, 15 grand off. He got so much money off, he didn't even understand the numbers. He just said, I had to get like 10 to 15 grand off of this because he had shopped it his way and he saw the numbers were so much higher. And then he met me, he used our system, and the price dropped by like 200, 300, close to 200, 300 a month. And he was like, I had to save like another 10, 15 grand off of this. I'm like, yeah, that sounds right. So that's the first question. You're going to keep it for 8 years. If you're going to keep it for 8 years, then we buy the Porsche. And what you would do is you would now assess the value of the Lexus if you're going to sell it. You're going to go to CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, KBB Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation, and Car Gurus. Again, I'm going to write that down. These are the companies we sell our cars to that we get bids from. We don't trade cars. We do not trade cars. The only people that have to trade cars are people with negative equity. That's why we want you to come out of negative equity. We don't trade cars. We sell our cars. And in fact, when you trade your car, you think you're trading it, you're actually selling it. That's why it's on that contract. It's on that buyer's order is, I'm selling you my old car for this amount. So we get bids, six companies, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, and this takes 20 minutes. So if you're committed to your money, you're going to do this. It doesn't matter if it's that's why, look, unlearn. It doesn't matter if this is a new process. Deshone, I never did it like this. Okay, then keep losing money then. These are your 6 companies: Carvana, KBB Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation, CarMax, Driveway, Car Guru, Sell My Car. That's step 2 in my book. So what we just went over with Leroy was the first 2 steps. One is deciding if we're going to buy or lease. How do we do that? We find out, are we keeping our car more than 8 years? If yes, we're going to buy it. Are we keeping it less than 8 years? We're gonna shop for a below market lease. That's how we're going to beat depreciation. Now, once that's decided, we move on to our equity assessment. And that's what he's about to do. Go to those 6 companies, get the offers. Greg the Barber, I can't get my wife to understand leasing is better than buying because we trade cars every 2 years. Just bring her on here, show her the numbers. Just show her the numbers. Show her what a below market lease looks like. Look, Rosalie, she gets a $60,000 vehicle, $592 a month. $60,000 QX. That vehicle is $1,300 a month to buy. Let's continue. Teddy, $73,000 BMW. $856 a month. Now these are below market leases. If your wife is looking at commercials and saying, oh, they want us to bring $3,000 down, all of these deals are no money down leases. You got to understand something. What you see on commercials are never going to be deals. A deal is when a dealer doesn't want to make it, but they have to. They decide, I have to make it. I need the number, whatever. That's a deal. A deal is not a commercial that's seen by 10,000 people that come on in and get these prices. So look at Zafrina, $65,000 vehicle, $579 a month. So below market leases, how do you get them? Multiple offers. I have the best system, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, for doing this because we do it from home. The Cars from Home system is the best system for getting multiple offers from home. So you can get your book. My new digital book is called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. And you'll have the entire blueprint on getting below market leases, purchases, new cars, used cars. And you can get it for 75% off as part of my welcome offer. It's normally a $97 book. It's worth every penny. You can Google it. You can see it's 5-star rated. But as part of my welcome offer, you can get it for 75% off for 30 minutes only. In my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the Facebook comments, or the YouTube comments. But you got to get there before 30 minutes is up. It's numbers. It's numbers. See, numbers shock people out of emotion. Me talking to you about why leasing makes sense, that's not enough to break the programming of people who programmed you not to lease. That's why I go right to the numbers. Now, yes, I'll explain depreciation, what's making these numbers so low, what the risks are taking of not leasing, and then the car depreciates and now you lost money, because if you were going to sell a car for a certain amount and it depreciated 10,000 because you put a lot more miles on it, then your car is worth a lot less. You lost money. So I could talk to you about that, but bigger than anything is, hey, let me show you these lease payments on below market leases. That's what got me. When I was in GM, my manager said, hey, D, you want to, I was like, hey, I need a car. He was like, hey, you know anything about leasing? I was already selling cars and I really didn't understand leasing. And he helped me at 22 years old get my first lease. It was a $20,000 car, $256 a month. I had friends that had brand new cars. They were paying double. And mind you, these weren't fancy. These were Honda Civics, Toyota Corollas. They were paying $500 a month. I'm paying $256 a month for a similar price car. I never got in trouble. I got the mileage I needed. Drove 12,000 miles a year at the time. I needed that. One lease, I drove 15,000 because we were doing more miles. I bumped it to 15,000 a year. Leasing is a numbers thing. We drive off the lot in the same exact car. Your payment's double mine. You lost. Now, in the long run, if you keep the car, pay it off, and keep it for 8, 9, 10 years, then you didn't lose. But if you think we're going to drive off in the same car and your payment's $200-$300 more a month than mine, because you say, oh, well, I'm buying mine, though, this thing's going to be paid off one day, then you lost, man. I don't care what you do. Look, see me in a couple years. Look at how much more money is in my bank account than is in your bank account. The money that's in my bank account is in your car. It's going to the bank every month. I do this, man. I'm trying to desperately shout from the hills to get people to stop buying these cars if they're not keeping them 8 years. Losing you've already lost thousands of dollars. Thousands, you've already lost. Once you come over to understand this, you'll realize that I should have been doing this 10, 15, 20 years ago. I'm paying off my cars, flipping them, paying them off, flipping them, buying them, not even paying them off, flipping them. I'm trying to flip cars. I'm trying to flip depreciating assets in the short term. So many reasons why this doesn't work. I could kill this all day long. But again, it comes down to the numbers. Below market lease deals, there's no comparison. All right. But you'll have the system for how to get them in my book. So it's a digital book. So it'll be in your inbox before you even get off this stream. As long as you get there before the 30 minutes is up. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next question in. Keep typing, y'all. We'll get through as many as we can. Yep. Energy guy for life. I have a car bought, but I owe more than it's worth. How do I get out? We talked about that. That's actually what we started the show with. So what I would do is I would go to either YouTube, Facebook, and rewind it, watch the beginning, because we started talking about the first question we got was about negative equity. So we spent time talking about how you need to maximize your value, get offers. I don't want to go over it again because there are people on here who is anybody who needs to hear about negative equity? Type of 1 if you need to hear about negative equity. We might hit on it again. But there's a lot of people on here that were on here earlier that they heard about it maybe 20 minutes ago. But we'll see. Let's if a lot of people end up saying they want the question, then we'll come back. But again, I don't like to spend 10 minutes or 7 minutes answering the question and then another 20 minutes down the road I answer the same question. All right, go ahead. Let's go, Dolan. Bring the next one up. Let's go. Do you have your book in hard copy? No, it wouldn't be available in hard copy because it wouldn't be good to do in hard copy. Websites change rapidly. Vroom, we used to get bids from. Vroom bought a lot of our cars. They were in the bidding process when we sold our cars to them. They were in our equity assessment process. And when we shop for used cars, we use a process I call the multiple marketplace strategy. They were in our multiple marketplace strategy. They go out of business. If you were using a hard copy of my book, you not only have to get another copy, you be going on websites that no longer exist. And that just wouldn't be an ideal experience. Thank you, Bridget. That wouldn't be an ideal experience. Another thing about the digital book is we get to actually link you to scripts. This is an online process. So if you're not comfortable with a digital book, this may not be for you. I'm just being honest with you. This is not for everyone. You need to be able to copy and paste, email. Like, this book wouldn't be for my dad. That's just real. My dad wasn't really comfortable with copy and pasting and sending emails because he doesn't need to do it for his daily life. He can send an email. It's just going to take him a couple. So when we're using our system, we're doing a lot of copying and pasting, opening up websites. So it wouldn't make sense to have a physical book there because I have scripts that we use. I have online calculators that we use that I invented. There's 5 calculators in the book that I actually invented, wrote the code for. You can't get them on Google. So these are all some of the reasons why it could never be a print book. It wouldn't make sense. And there's a lot more in there. All right, there's 7 paths. A lease path, but a lease path with with a third-party equity assessment, a used car path, paying car path. We have links that warp you to keep you on track. If you were reading a physical book, it just wouldn't work. That book is uniquely written as a digital book for a reason. It's not like I wrote an ebook because I didn't want to put out a physical book. It would be simple. It's much more simple. But this is a complex. We needed the links and to be able to certain parts you get to in the book, and I say, hey, click here if you want to watch a video on this subject. You're like, whoa, okay. Oh, it's a video. I can understand this. Couldn't do that with a physical book. So if you want to get your copy of Cars from Home, my new digital book, you can get it for 75% off as part of my welcome offer in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. It's normally $97, worth every penny, but it's part of my welcome offer. You get there before 30 minutes. You got 30 minutes to get the 75% off. You get yours for $24. Make sure when you get your book, you screenshot the thank you page. Right after you pay, the book is on that page. As soon as you pay, it says access your book below. It also says I'm emailing you a copy. It also gives you my support team's email in case you don't get your book. Because a lot of people type their email wrong. Just reach out to my support team. They'll get you the book. But you have a copy of it as soon as you pay right there in that link. And keep that link. All right, go ahead, Dolan. All right, what is going on? I see you, Greg the Barber. We'll get that one in. What's up, Jackie Cox? Good to see you. We just bought a 24 Jeep Grand Cherokee. We traded my truck, wasn't upside down. Now we got a $900 payment. If you traded your truck, how long did you have the old truck, Greg? What year was the old truck that you traded? You just bought a 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee. What year was the old vehicle that you traded? What year was the old vehicle? Let me know because I can see your comments. So let me know what year was the old vehicle that you traded in. Just type the year because I don't want, I like to keep the show moving forward fast. So type. All right, it's 2019. That means, so if you didn't have negative equity, that means you just paid off that vehicle or you put a good amount of money down and then you traded it off literally as soon as you paid it off. Just depreciation alone. Let me give you an idea. Depreciation alone. This is that 2019 Nissan. What happens is you bought it here. The depreciation on that vehicle over 5 years is like this. Now, if vehicles just dropped in value like this indefinitely, nobody would buy them. No one would buy them because people would be like, why would I ever buy something that is a sliding board of losing thousands of dollars in value? You notice when you buy a vehicle one day, let's just say that you buy a $40,000 vehicle today, what is it worth tomorrow? Let's just say not even a year down the road, a $40,000 vehicle, you buy it today, what is it worth tomorrow? The day after you buy it, throw some numbers out. And I want to give Greg an example of why he needs to be leasing. And if he wants to keep, you're losing thousands of dollars. It's not even a question, but I want to help you through this because again, this is not your fault. It's bad programs. People speak very, very loud about not leasing and they sound convincing. They never talk numbers though. That's the clue that they don't know what they're talking about. They never talk numbers. Okay. So a day later, they say you lose 15, 20%. Not that much, Nicole. She said it's half. No, it's about, you lose about 15% in a day. And that depends on how soft the market is. If this was a vehicle that you could have got 15 grand off on, but you paid close to list price, then you will lose 20 grand because you didn't know what the market was. Give you an example. Milligan just got $27,000 off her Mercedes. $27,000 off. And I got to show this stuff because people wouldn't believe it if I didn't show it. Milligan got no, that's Melissa. Milligan got 27,000 off. If you zoom in on that Mercedes, it's a Mercedes EQE, $79,000. She got it for like 53,000. Now, had she bought this car, let's just say it's 79,000. Let's call it 80, just for easy math. Let's say she got it for 5,000 off. You know, she thinks, hey, I'm getting a Mercedes, 5,000 off. That sounds good. If she went back the next day and said, well, I need to give this back to you, I can't afford it or whatever, any reason, they're probably only going to give her 50,000 at best for it because they know the market on it. You overpaid for it. It doesn't matter. Like this vehicle, you overpaid for. So although you paid 75, the vehicle really, the new market was only like 50 in the 50s. So she would lose $20,000. She would lose, $20,000 on that purchase. It's very dangerous to not shop the new market for a vehicle because you don't know how soft the vehicle is. We call a vehicle that needs a big discounts to sell it. And some dealers are taking off 17 grand, 15 grand. They got big rebates. That's a soft vehicle. It's a very soft market. Very dangerous to buy these cars without shopping the market because you're going to lose. But let's get back to Greg. If vehicles just kept losing value like this, you never buy them because people will be like, man, these things are just, like throwing a stone in the ocean, but they don't. Eventually, they start to level out. So a vehicle that's worth 11,000, next year it'll be worth 10,000. And then the following year, it's only going to lose, maybe there are people on here now, some of you've had your vehicle so long, the amount that it's worth today is going to be the same amount it's worth next year. Your vehicle's worth 8,000 today. A year from now, it's going to be worth about, 75, 76. This is now what your depreciation looks like. But in your case, Greg, and people you're buying these cars, you're literally riding the depreciation out, sliding board, losing tons of value. And then as soon as you're about to start leveling out, you go and you get another vehicle and you do it again. You're just taking sliding boards, losing thousands of dollars all the time, over and over and over again. And that's just a recipe for losses. How do we avoid them? We get below market leases. That same Jeep Grand Cherokee that you got, look at how much you're paying for it. And look at how much Raphael is putting into hers. Raphael got a 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee, $45,000 vehicle, $549 a month, no money down. You're tying up thousands of dollars in that car. Thousands. Raphael's driving the exact same vehicle as you, $549 a month. Zafrina, you got a couple people on here got Jeep Grand Cherokees. Zafrina has a $65,000 when she got the electric version, 2024. She's paying $579 a month. You bought this car, 65 grand. If you put no money down, you're paying $1,100-1,200 a month. Actually, no, that's more like $1,300 a month. Depends on what. Even with a big discount, $1,100 a month, 5 years. You're paying, these are huge payments compared to what Raphael and Zafrina are paying. And you might say, well, my payment's lower. Only way your payment's lower is you gave them a lot of money up front. You gave them 10 grand, or you gave them your trade. I didn't put any money down, but I did trade in my vehicle. Your trade was worth 10 grand. So it's just replace the trade in with cash. This is real money that could be in your bank account. And I'm gonna tell you something before we move to the next question. Let me tell you something. I would look. Melissa learned. Melissa, she learned because she was just like you, Greg, just like you, and people like you. Listen, Greg, I'm not isolating you out. This is just a great example of what millions of people are doing. You know, this is, and again, I wouldn't know this if I hadn't been in the business. I'm not smarter than anyone. I just spent 14 years in this industry, and I love math, so this comes very easy for me. Thank God. But you look at Melissa. Melissa, once you find out that you should be leasing, instead of trading these cars and selling them and putting all this money and keeping your equity in your vehicles, you should be selling your vehicle, putting the equity in your bank account, and then moving forward. Why can't I find Melissa's deal? Hold on. Here we go. So Melissa, she says, Deshaun, I learned about leasing. I'm not buying anymore. She replaces her 2018 Kia Sorento. She got her bids. Her highest bid was from Carvana, 12 grand. 12 grand. So she normally would take most, if not all of that money and just roll it over to her next car. She ends up getting her Honda. She gets her Honda lease. She gets a 15,000 mile a year lease. Well, we shot with 12. We shot with 12, so she ends up getting it for about $575 a month. She got a Honda. Hold on, I'm trying to read this fast. She got a Honda Pilot EXL. That's probably it's probably a $45,000 vehicle, maybe 48. She got it for $575 a month. And look, nothing out of pocket. And look, she put the $12,000 in her bank account. So now her car payment is low, not high like it was when she was buying the Kia. And she literally pulled all that money that she used to keep in her cars, rolling them over. She pulled it out, put it in her bank account. Imagine selling your car and actually putting the equity in your bank and still leaving in a brand new car with under your budget. That's what happens when you move from buying as a short-term buyer, not keeping 8 years, into leasing. It'll change your world. And again, only thing you're gonna say is, "Man, I should have been doing this years ago. I should have been doing this a lot." You know, we don't even get to harping on the money you lost. Do you think prices will continue to drop on vehicles? I do. We always get deals. We were getting deals when people thought there were no deals. All through the pandemic, we had people getting deals. Bonita right here got her Kia. She got her Kia Telluride. This was a dream vehicle. During the pandemic, and look at the year. You can see the year. When she got hers, it was 2022. Literally, people were paying $10,000 over sticker for these vehicles. People were leasing these Tellurides for $800 a month, $900 a month. She got hers for $600 a month, no money down. This is pandemic. You know, we've helped. I started this in 2021 in the middle of the pandemic. Everything when you see people all on my pages, you know, there's deals everywhere. There's never a point in time where I go to spy a car in the last 15 years and I'm like, oh, there's no deals out here. Because again, there's always going to be a dealer who's going to sell. You just have to learn to find them, Nicole. You keep going into the local dealer thinking you're supposed to be able to negotiate a good deal with them. Eight out of 10 dealers are overpriced. We've proven that. Why? How can I tell you that confidently? Because all of us shop the market. You shop locally. We shop the market. What you'll learn to do with Cars from Home, my new digital book, is to shop the market. You go local to one or two dealers, they already know. NADA they taught us. When we were car salesmen, NADA taught us that people only shop 2 car dealers on average. So if those are the statistics, your local dealer knows that. They know as soon as they see you walk in, you know, can I get a quote? Can I pick a car out? odds are this person is not going to shop more than one other dealership, and we're going to get them. If we just work and smile and be courteous, they're going to pick us. If they don't buy today, maybe we could get their business next week or something like that, but they're not shopping the market. That's where you lose. So when those two are high, you think the whole market's high. But using our system, what you're going to learn in my digital book, Cars from Home, 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. I think sometimes I say that title too fast. It goes over your head. Cars from Home, that's a mindset, because we spend 90% of our time here. All of these people that you see me sharing in my streams, they are literally in their house 90% of the time to get these deals. Cars from Home, 7 steps. That means it's a process. It's not you're not winging it anymore. You're not winging the process. It's a 7-step process. Step 1 is the most important question. We're deciding whether we're going to lease or buy. Step 7 is delivery. By the time you get to step 7, you're taking delivery of your vehicle. 7 steps to saving time, which is what I love, money, which is another thing I love, and avoiding dealerships, which is something that most people want to do. So just in the title alone, you could understand what you hold us accountable to delivering. And when you Google the book, you'll see we deliver on this. It's a proven system. We've been doing this for 3 years now, and we have hundreds of people who've used the system. And grandmothers, single mothers, introverts, men, children. I'm talking young kids. Like, the system works. It's like McDonald's. So you can get a copy of the book. It's a digital book. It'll be in your inbox in 3 minutes. Go to my TikTok bio, and it's my welcome offer. You can get it for 75% off, but it's only for 30 minutes. The book's $97. It's not $24. So if you get to my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments, click that link. You can get it for $24, but only for 30 minutes. That's my welcome offer. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up. All right. How do I negotiate buying more miles on a lease? You get it up front. It's very simple. We shop with 12,000 miles per year. Shop all your offers. Once you get your best offer, identify who that 20% dealer is. They beat everybody else. You email them, hey, can you adjust it to 15,000 miles per year or 18,000 miles per year? Very simple. If you're doing it your way, then you just call them and say, hey, all right, I'm gonna go with you, but can you tell me what it would be for 18,000 or 20,000? That's what Jen did. She shopped for $39,000 Honda CRV. Her best offer on this vehicle, it's a hybrid, very hot vehicle. This is one of the most popular hybrids over the last couple of years, the Honda CRV hybrid. $39,000 vehicle. Her best offer was $512 a month, no money down, 12,000 miles per year. She adjusted it to 18,000 miles a year. Payment went to $563. Then she signed her deal. So $512 a month, bumped it up to $563. So for $50 more, she's driving as much as she needs, 18,000 miles a year. She's going to bring this vehicle back to them in 3 years. It's going to have roughly 54,000 miles on it. She's going to get something else. That's how you get your miles. It's built in. You're customizing your lease. In the beginning, we customize our leases. The dealers are giving you what you ask them for. You say, work me out a lease deal. All right, I'll do it. Give me a lease quote. I'll do it. In my book, we have a template. This is how you give me your lease quote. 12,000 miles per year, first month's payment only, taxes and fees in the payment. This is what I do for a living. Some of you can't even get deals because you don't realize you're trying to shop online and you don't realize the reason you can't get your prices is because you're not giving dealers what they need to actually even give you the prices. Dealers need to know your zip code to factor in the taxes. But you like, oh, why are they asking for this? Dealers need to know what you do for a living. See if you qualify for any rebates. Dealers need to know what you look, when your deadline is. That's why we have templates that you fill in, email them. Because as a former car salesman, I know what dealers need to give you quotes. That's why it's written out for you. But again, if you want to do it your way, call around and just I would only speak to sales managers. I would only speak to sales managers. If you want to do it your way, I don't care how you get multiple offers. I just know my way is easier because you don't have to talk to people. If you have to talk to people, then you need to be a good talker and you need to know what you're going to say. My way, you don't need to know what you're going to say. I'm telling you what you're going to type. Go ahead, Dolan. Do you think the banks will ever get rid of the points that they pay to dealerships? Uh, Commissions. Let's use, because you use a form of a commission. That's all it is. You could say it's a point. You could say, I mean, I could pay you a point, or I could pay you a flat, but I'm paying you for selling this loan for us. So do I think that a person who sells financial products will ever sell them for free? No, I don't. No. And that's why we use something called the bank bidding war, where we are going direct to credit unions and banks, and we're allowing them to bid on our business. Um, Most people don't know that the credit bureaus allow you to have multiple banks and credit unions access your credit report in a small period of time. It's called the rate shopping. You can Google rate shopping and you'll understand that they allow you this. You can have multiple hard pulls within a certain period of time, and you can actually have them bid. They expect you to do that. Most people don't do it, actually. So they can't help you because they're like, hey, we allow you to do it, but you're not doing it. You're letting the dealer run you out to multiple banks and credit unions. But if you Google rate shopping, what it says is if you can have multiple banks and credit unions access your credit with a hard pull, and at the end of that period, it's going to weigh on your credit like one hard pull. So at the end, if one hard pull would have dropped your score 10 points, you could have 15 banks and credit unions run your credit, and it's going to drop at the same 10 points. But the difference is one strategy, you overpay for your loan, overpay for your interest, have no price assurance, no price guarantee that you got a good interest rate, and you have the same 10 points on your credit that you hit with the hard pull. The other strategy, you have the best rate, lowest rate in the market. You guarantee it because you have 15 people access your credit and make bids and make offers, and it's the same 10 points hard pull. This is called the bank bidding war. We created this. You can actually, again, when you get my book, I haven't combined this into the book, but when you get the book, you actually get the bank bidding war blueprint for those of you who are going to be financing and getting a loan. So this is everything we talked about in this stream is in my new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can grab your copy for 75% off as part of my welcome offer, but it's only for 30 minutes. You won't pay the normal $97 price. You get it for $24 as long as you get there before 30 minutes. Get to my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the Facebook comments, or the YouTube comments. Click that link and then click Get Book 75% off, and you'll have it in your inbox. Make sure you screenshot the thank you page because the book is on that page. I also email you a copy. And just in case you don't get your copy in 5 minutes, you'll have my support team's email. So screenshot that page. But I wanna. There's something I just wanted to say. Hold on. Let's see if it comes back. Yeah, I don't know. It slipped my mind. But listen, this is the. I mean, I take this serious, and the only people who really win, everyone who I showed you, and we could spend. Maybe I'll do it one day. I might spend one stream and just spend an hour just going over 50, 60, 70 people's deals that have used our system. After that, it'll start to get old because you're going to be like, okay, wow, these are starting to look the same. Yeah, they're all good. And then you realize that this is not complex. We're not building rocket ships. All we're doing is we have the best system for making people compete for our business in the auto industry. That's it. That's our claim to fame. Now, I also teach you about leasing versus buying and financial boundaries that no one else is really teaching about. But when it comes to getting the deals, when it comes to how are we getting the prices we're getting easily in 90 minutes and 2 hours from home, it's just we have the best system for making people compete. Amazon has one of the best systems for making sellers compete for your business. That's why they do well. Competition is what drives down prices. Competition is what allows you to make great decisions quickly. So that's what you're going to get in Cars from Home. Got my copy. I'm going to start shopping your way. Energy God for life. Listen, God bless you. Use it and trust the process. Do not overthink. Here's what I say. Bring your goal. All you want to have is your goal. Forget your strategy. Forget everything of every strategy, every tactic you might have thought worked for you with car buying and shopping and leasing. Just forget it. Just bring your goal. Yeah, I want this Lexus truck. Yeah, I want this. Bring your goal. Trust our process. Success is guaranteed. All right. And just stay on the steps. It's a step-by-step process. All right. God bless. I'll see y'all on the next stream. Enjoy the rest of the day, the rest of the evening. See you soon.